First, I would like to say to everyone who, even going back in the past to around 2013 and 2014, I guess, because the definitive edition did come out slightly later. 2015, I believe it came out. There are a lot of salty people based off of DMC and what happened with DMC, and I want to say this. This is not DMC. If you really honestly think DMC is a better game, go back and play DMC. It is your prerogative. But if you like to factually say that DMC 5 is not as good, if not worse than DMC, you're kind of lying to yourself, almost completely. So that being said, there was zero controversy with this game besides the music, which was not really a controversy, it was just some music. But there were almost zero controversies with this game. There was almost nothing in this game that truly elicited a shut the hell up and just let the game come out response. They did everything correctly in terms of just shutting up and letting the game come out, which is what I've literally been saying that a lot of companies need to do these days, which is shut the F up, let the game do the talking, speak nothing. Like, a lot of companies find that hard these days, and it's very annoying. Very annoying. Now, that being said, I would like to start off with the story.
Lights, camera, action.
Okay, let's get the story part out the way. Again, let's go back to the past. A lot of people said that that DMC, the remake, the reboot, whatever, was better for the story. Granted, the story was complete and utter garbage and it completely missed the point of Dante, him being human. While Virgil, of course, also being human, being, more of a devil than everything. So the themes of the new DMC was there were Nephilim, which was dumb because it completely destroyed the whole message of the game through Dante. This new one, it goes back to what it wants to be, what it needed to be, which is Dante is again a human demon hybrid, which makes him relatable. Oh shit. Was that so hard, Ninja Theory? No, it's not that hard. That being said, moving on past the bullshit. Devil May Cry 5 story starts as follows. You are Dante fighting Urizen. Now, Urizen is a very powerful demon who unleashed the Qy'poth in the middle of the city.
We've known each other a long time. You never had this much trouble. You gonna make it through this, Dante?
And it's going to suck up human blood. And he's gonna use it for power to destroy the Earth. While simultaneously, V recruits Nero.
Sorry, Dante. I'm back in this bitch.
To try to help Dante out. Dante's pretty much doing the job for V, while Nero's also doing the job for V. Because, V was smart enough to kind of recruit both of the demon hunter people to actually do the job. And V, being a character himself that you're playable, is actually very good as a character. He's very mysterious. Nero's actually very cool as a character. See, I was never one of the people that hated Nero back in Devil May Cry 4. Because a lot of people hated him because he was cocky and he tried to be as cocky as Dante, if not more cocky. But a lot of people never understood that Nero, right, was in an order of knights and arguably one of the strongest knights in said order. He was one of the strongest knights in the order.
I'm back in this bitch.
I will repeat that. He was one of the strongest knights.
I'm back in this bitch.
In their military. by himself could take out whole streets of armies. Without struggling. While running to go to Kyrie, he beat up a street of demons by himself. You haven't seen nothing else do that in that game. I never hated Nero because he was cocky, because he had every right to be.
I think I'll have to take you down a couple notches. Whatever you say, kid.
He was a cocky dude that was like by himself. Then he learned that there's a person that's not only stronger than him, as strong as him. Like, he couldn't tell, but he fought Dante anyway. And Dante came in and he was like, oh shit, this dude is strong, you know? After a while, he realized Dante is stronger than him. Fast forward to DMC times, he's still cocky.
You look like you need a hug, but you're not gonna get one from me. Better get lost.
Hey, who are you? Hey, you're gonna get yourself killed!
Don't crap yourself. He likes to kill demon things. Let him do his thing.
You hear what I said, you dumb one-armed son of a bitch? You're gonna die!
Cheer up, crew cut. You taking notes? All right, time to kick some ass.
I mean, is that an issue? No, it makes him endearing in my part. He's a cocky dude. He may be still younger than Dante. He's like a young Dante, to be more specific. Dante in Devil May Cry 3 was not the most humble of people. He was still a cocky asshole. Q Cerberus. Come on, guys. Q Cerberus. Back to what I was saying. Devil May Cry story gets quite possibly an A for because it does its job well throughout the story. Can't spoil anything, but by the time I got to the ending, there was literally a tear in my eye on how epic everything culminated together to one thing. Now, let's move on. Graphics. Now, graphics are actually really good. Now, me as a person, if you make an action game like that and you use the Unreal Engine for your action game, in an established franchise and it's arguably slower, QDMC who used the Unreal Engine and it was not as fast. It took them to the definitive edition to make the game faster, which is on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, which makes sense because those consoles can handle shit like that. Now, RE Engine was a good choice to make this game in because not only did it supply the graphics, it supplied the frenetic gameplay that Devil May Cry has always been about. The graphics, they look so realistic and they look so good.
We're alive! We made it! It's our lucky day, V. Let's go find a game of cards.
These Glyphod roots, they're everywhere.
Well, we are underground.
Then I guess we have some clearing up to do.
And me without my gardening shears.
And they don't hit the gameplay department.
Get out of my
They don't hit no other department, and the graphics, they look fantastic. The enemies look fantastic, the bosses look fantastic. Hell, even the opening cutscene is fantastic.
What am I doing wasting my time here? He's got this.
You should not underestimate this demon. After all, it was he who took your right arm and gained a great deal of power from it. I'm leaving. I suggest you do not fall behind.
Now, when I'm gonna give the graphics, I'm gonna give the graphics a solid A. Yes, I'm giving out A's like they're candy today. Now, the music in this game, it's fantastic. It hits all the right notes on the rock genre, then slightly on the techno genre, and the orchestral genre. And it hits all of them in a perfect blend. And what makes it even cooler, you can change the theme to the music for all of the characters. So if you don't like, I don't know, Devil Trigger, hearing it 50,000 times before the game came out, you can actually change Nero's battle music to something else from the other Devil May Cries if you got that pack. Other than that, in fact, no, yeah, you can actually change all of them regardless to any of the music that they provide in that menu in the junk box if you would like. Now, that being said, I definitely changed the music for all three of the characters to something from the past Devil May Cries because it just fit very well and it was all fun and fantastic. While some of the new music actually really does fit the game very well. There was a little spots where it was like, why is this theme playing? You know, but other than that, I definitely would give the music in this game a B+, mainly because it's still good. We have some flaws and some tracks, and I do wish there was a certain track that was remixed in this game that actually would have stayed. But some of the older tracks for some of the bosses that you fight, not spoiling anything, actually do fit the boss fight. Gameplay. Now, I love the gameplay of this game. It truly hit all the right notes for a Devil May Cry. Everything, the 20-second gameplay loop that they hit for all three of the characters, fucking phenomenal, okay? Phenomenal, like phenomenal. Let's start off with Nero's game. They are majority the same. As Devil May Cry 4, except for he doesn't have the Devil Bringer arm, he has Devil Breakers. And the Devil Breakers provide different uses for different Devil Breakers. Like you have the Overture, which shocks, or the Punchline, which sends out a Rocket Fist that you can also ride. Then he has the grab, which in his elbow, it hooks an enemy and brings you to it, which can create some interesting combos and combinations with not only the Devil Breaker, depending on the Devil Breaker you use, depending on everything that you use together. Including, I have the Mega Buster. I like the Mega Buster. I had the Mega Buster. I got the special edition of the game. I had to get the special edition of this game. And the Mega Buster, probably my favorite Devil Breaker to be more specific, than all of them. That and gonna have to say the Punchline can create some interesting combos and situations where you can combo an enemy to get that triple S. It is amazing. Next, I want to talk about V. V's gameplay is all about his familiars and him staying away from the enemy until he has to kill the enemy with his cane.
Pardon me.
V's gameplay, I honestly thought was not going to be the greatest. Until I played with him and instantly got a triple S because of the combos that both of his familiars can do. Griffin does more of the shooting, more of the gunplay aspects of the game, which is shooting beams, making lightning orbs, freaking raining thunder upon the enemy, while Shadow turns himself into various spiky objects or turns himself into a buzzsaw. And then there's Nightmare, which I don't even care what anybody says. Once Nightmare's on the screen, and you can't lose with Nightmare.
Taste of despair. Now it begins.
Nightmare is an instant win, but on the hardest difficulty, he can just body things because the AI controls him until you probably unlock a move where you can climb on top. You don't have to, but it's actually pretty fun to just climb on top of him and just tap all three of the buttons and see what happens. And see, you use Nightmare to beat up on enemies, and you use, Griffin shoot him in the air, obviously, and Shadow kind of just spin on him like Sonic the Hedgehog, son. With that being said, I would like to move on to the final character.
I'll take that.
Dante, Tony Redgrave, mainly Dante though. Dante is by far my favorite character in the game. That man has so many tools.
Wanna have some fun?
And so many moves. And granted, the only thing I don't like is he doesn't get as much weapons as he would usually get. But out of all the weapons he gets, this man's combination of movement to gameplay ratio, I honestly thought that for me, he had some of the better levels in the game. This man gets 3 main swords, can't spoil them unfortunately, a motorcycle, which you see in the commercials, and 2 other weapons that weren't properly revealed throughout everything, but he gets these weapons, and switching in between all the weapons is phenomenal with him. You can switch between the guns too, you even get a hat. You get a hat, okay? And can't spoil how you get the hat. It's amazing. This Dante's gameplay is the most varied out of all the other characters. While his gameplay is fluid, it is also easy to try to get caught up inside of trying to do a sick combo that you could probably die really easily. Because Dante is fun to experiment, but with, especially if you play Devil May Cry 3 and 4, it is easy to kind of get lost in what is going on. Therefore, at some points can get a little overwhelming. But if you really know what you're doing, it is almost no way you can get hit, especially if you have the right combination, the right stance, and the right weapon for the occasion. Speaking of all the characters, there are specific missions where you get to use, or somebody on the interwebs is using another character. By far, that's the best part of the game for me. There's a mission in the game where you use all 3 of the characters.
I can't take it. I've got it.
I'm afraid not. I've got my own mission to complete. I have to keep going.
and you fight with all three of them. And I picked V the first time I played it, and it was the funnest mission I've ever played in the game. Then I went to Nero. While it wasn't as fun because the person I was playing with was kind of stealing all the kills, we created a combo. I picked Dante to do it, and I was playing with a V. We got triple S's the whole time. That being said, let's move on to the final category, which is characters. Oh yeah, gameplay gets an A. A+, S rank, triple S style. Now, the characters in this game, for me, happen to be some of the best parts of the game. While in past Devil May Cry's, I could never say the characters were the best part. Let's just say, let me fill your heart with light is a phrase said in the first Devil May Cry. But again, you could still empathize and kind of be cool with Dante because he always did some of the coolest things throughout the series. Nero too.
Sorry, Dante. I'm back in this bitch.
This game truly takes all their characters and puts them through their own arcs, puts them through their struggles, and it gets you in the minds of their characters. V in particular was definitely mysterious until the very end of the game where it was like, yo, I kind of guessed who he was, but then again, I didn't know what he was at the end of the day. It was that good of a story. And Dante, he's one of the most caring characters in the whole series. If you really, really know the game, that means he's one of the most, he cares a lot for his friends and family. Like Nero always just wanting to show Dante that he is actually as good as Dante, if not better. Let's just say one thing was said to Nero and it got him through the rest of the game. Like he never let it down, man. He never let it down. But at the end of the day, it truly says something where by the end of this game, I was truly enamored with all the characters, even Nico.
Are the infamous Dante. I'm Nicoletta Goldstein. Sound familiar? My grandmother is Nell Goldstein, the gunsmith that made all your fancy weapons that you got strapped back there. Yeah, there she is!
You don't much look like her.
Yeah, I got my looks from my daddy. That's about all I got from him. But based on his research, I managed to cobble this. Consider it a gift in honor of us finally meeting.
I liked her. She was fun. She was interesting. She had comedic timing. She was an asshole and an asset at the same time. While Lady and Trish, were their usual selves, badass in their own right, but fortunately you didn't get to see too much of, judging from the trailers, you got to see a little bit more, but until the gameplay started, I was like, kinda wish I saw more of these two ladies. So that being said, let's move on to the final verdict. Now, my negatives with this game, I don't really have a lot. In fact, this is almost the most perfect game of this year. Just fun, and it's frenetic. And it's everything that an action game should be. Granted, my only problem is, the actual problem is they have the stupidest microtransactions I've ever seen. But they're not intrusive microtransactions. They don't really do anything to your game unless you click on them. If you click on them, then it's not my problem that you wasted your money on buying red orbs that you can buy. Billions of them. And I believe there are gold orbs too. But by the time I was done with the game, I had 14 gold orbs. That's how easy they are to get in this game. They're not really an issue. You get gold orbs, they go You get a gold orb right there. You freaking beat an enemy in an area you're not supposed to be in. Oh, here's another gold orb. Red orbs. Hey man, you want a red orb? Just go kill these enemies over here. You can get a shit ton of them. But no, a lot of people don't care about that. It's fine. But that being said, I gotta give the game a buy. This game is 100% a buy. It is not a rent. It is not a wait for sale. It's a buy 100%. You need to buy this game. It's actually one of the greatest games I've played this generation. And is already in the contention for the top 3 games of the year this year already. And it hasn't even been out that long. And 2019 has barely even truly gotten to the highest Steam yet. But that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next Wild Thing review.
Once we have the mics aligned to consume it.